Hi guys, welcome back to Tia Gaitana. My name is Abby and today we are going to be doing the weekly chakra healing video. And this week is going to be a very, I want to say interesting week, because currently we have a lot of fire in the chart. We have like 5 planets in fire signs, and the moon is currently in Aries. And then we're building up into this full moon in Cancer that's going to be happening on Saturday, which is also the start of Capricorn season. So there's like a lot of like fire moving into Earth, basically cardinal. It's a lot of cardinal like undertones here and there in the chart. So I have the records open, so let's see what's happening for this week. So starting with the root chakra, what is our blockage for our root chakra this week? What is our blockage for our root chakra this week? So this is kind of ridiculous and hilarious at the same time, because you guys know this is the card of Capricorn. In our blockage this week, in our root chakra, and Capricorn rules the root chakra, so there's conversations that need to be had. What is our blockage in our root chakra this week? 8 of Wands in reverse. Okay, I see what it is. I see what it is. That thing that we Capricorns do when we're gonna talk about it. How can we best heal our root chakra this week? Wheel of Fortune. Okay. How can we best heal our root chakra this week? Okay. 8 of Cups, 5 of Wands. Okay. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. What is blocking our sacral chakra this week? Okay. That was 3 cards. Damn. So 8 of Cups, 9 of Swords, and then Page of Wands. How can we best heal our... Damn. Okay. Okay, so we have King of Wands and 7 of Cups. Okay. What is blocking our solar plexus this week? What is blocking our solar plexus this week? Back to back, the Magician and the Knight of Wands. It's always weird to me when we have like wands blocking the solar plexus, because it rules that energy. So it's like, what? But we're gonna talk about it. How can we best heal our solar plexus this week? You see how there's a lot of wands right now? Hold on, let me pick this up. There's a lot of wands that already jumped out. And that's because we have a lot of fire in the chart. There's a lot of fire in the chart right now for this week. How can we best heal our solar plexus this week? How can we best heal our solar plexus? Okay. Okay, so these are the 2 cards that jumped out for the solar plexus, and we're going to talk about it. What is blocking our heart space this week? Ooh. Whoa. This is a story, because that was like... Okay. This is definitely a story. This is story time with Abby, because this is like a lot of cards, but I'm gonna take them just because it's a story, but we're gonna talk about it. We're definitely gonna talk about it. Okay. How can we best heal our heart chakra this week? How can we best heal? How can we best heal? Okay. Oh, okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. So we have Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles for this week. For our heart space, there's a lot of root chakra. I mean, it's mirroring definitely last week, but we'll see. What is blocking our throat chakra this week? What is blocking our throat chakra this week? Everything's like jumping out so damn fast. Like super fast. Super, super fast. So throat chakra. It's a fact. What's blocking? Oh, how can we best heal our throat chakra this week? How can we best heal throat chakra this week? Hold on. First, Empress. Let us heal our throat chakra this week. Let's heal. Let's heal. Wow, Venus vibes for real. So the Empress and Justice. Lots of Venus vibes. So, what is blocking our third eye this week? What is blocking? Oh, wow. Okay, what is blocking our third eye? So, Strength, 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. Okay. How can we best heal our third eye this week? Okay. 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. And lastly, the Crown is blocking our crown chakra this week. What is blocking our crown chakra this week? Okay. It's blocking our crown chakra. It's blocking our crown chakra this week. Okay. How can we best heal our crown chakra this week? How can we best heal? Okay, sweet. So we have High Priestess in the Chariot. That's going to be a funny conversation. Bottom of the deck is the Sun and the 10 of Swords, which is very appropriate as far as like what this is looking like. So let's get right into it. So for our root chakra, what is being blocked? We have the Devil and we have the 8 of Wands. And with the Devil in the blockage, what this means is that instead, this is one of the reasons why this is the Capricorn card in tarot, but it's because the Devil represents a thing that we do that's, it's kind of like when we're very heavily Saturnian influenced and we don't want to budge. We constrict ourselves and restrict our intentions, our power, because we want everything to be so under control. This is when you have like a Capricorn that's very Virgo influenced, just because of that amount of control that's in there. We want to have our life in order so much, especially when there's one thing that we have under control. We think that we have under control so well that it becomes like a negative habit. This can represent like addictions. This can represent like different types of self-medicating that we personally do because we believe that we have it under control, so it's fine basically. But in other people, when it comes up for like as far as a general reading goes, and for other people, when they don't have heavy Capricorn placements, even if you do have heavy Capricorn placements, this is a form of being stubborn and being kind of stuck in your old ways, being like thinking you know exactly what the situation needs, especially with the amount of fire that there is right now. Fire requires like the space to spread, where Earth and like the Capricorn placements are asking for stability. They're asking for a specific area to be focused on, and it's kind of that that focus that could either be a negative or a good thing. You could either be stuck in your old ways and not be rigid and not wanting to change, or you can think you know exactly how everything needs to be and like are not allowing for any changes to come in between these chains that these two people are in, because this is something that we do very, very well. There's some certain things, even myself as a Capricorn, I know I can embody this energy, because we know how to have self-control. This is a card of self-control, but there's some areas where we're being asked to allow some changes, allow some integrating some other things into our space, into our energy, and to allow these changes, these messages, these movements to happen, even though if it's not the way that we wanted it, it still needs to change. Like the energy still needs to come in the way that it needs to come in, not exactly in the way that we want it to come in or wanted it to come in. So there's a stubbornness that is kind of being in play here with this being in the blockage. and it's kind of blocking our groundedness as well, because we're not rooted, because we're being really stubborn. And when we're being stubborn, we block our blessings that could come in very quickly if we're like out here just like, nah, like I don't know, I don't if I didn't get it my way, I don't want it at all, like stuff like that. Like that's this kind of combination energy. And what the universe is really saying, it's like, you're not always going to get things exactly your way, even though you've worked for it in the way that you thought you would, and you thought it was going to end up this way. Doesn't mean you're going to get it this way. It's important to really I would say adapt to the fire energy right now, because it's a lot of fire in this reading, and that's because Sagittarius season is not going out without a bang. That's for a fact. But allow yourself to be shaken up a little bit, because what this is going to do going into Saturday, because Saturday is also the beginning of Capricorn season, it's going to give you a nice kind of open field in order for you to plan out the next steps for you, which Capricorn loves to do, and we're going to talk about as well. Because the majority, the December is about planning and thinking about the next year. That's really what it's about. Like Capricorn really takes its time. The first half of Capricorns born in December really have that Sag energy where they're very expansive, and they're very like, oh my god, I just want this, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's like, that's kind of the thing that needs to be that energy needs to be brought in right now, that kind of cuspy Capricorn Sag energy, where it's just like, I'm still open, I want to try this, I want to remain open. Like that's what needs to be brought in. January Capricorns are a little bit more I would say like the middle Capricorns are very much like, wait, I have to plan, I have to wait, like I have to, but then they move very quickly because they already have used the energy from December to plan out their steps. So it's a time to just let go with the flow, and allow yourself to, because the way to heal it, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Cups, and the Five of Wands. So it's really asking you to allow yourself to be kind of undertaken with a new passion, a new emotional drive for something. Let the universe kind of move you in a different direction, especially if it's something that's been coming up for you, if you've gotten the signs and messages about a specific thing. If the universe might just want you to get grounded in a different space, or might be pushing your direction so you can really feel a lot better where you are in your life, and where you're feeling more passionate and you're driven in that area. So it's exciting you. It's not something that you're like bored at, that you already mastered, because Capricorn also already got to the point where it mastered whatever the case may be. And it's like, once they get to that point, we get bored, because then there's nothing to, we always have to be climbing a mountain, and that's the whole point. We plan how we're going to climb the mountain, we analyze how we're going to do it, we see where the obstacles may lie, we prep for it, and then we execute and we start planning. That's really what we do. So right now it's just like, hey, you know, let the mountain unveil itself to you as far as next year's direction. I would say for some of you guys need to check where your Jupiter transit is for next year. I already checked mine. It's gonna be in my house of pleasure, so I'm gonna be traveling a lot, I'm telling you right now. But for the most part, you guys need to like really see where Jupiter is gonna fall next year, because I feel like this fire energy is gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit nuts here. But depending on where Jupiter falls is where you're gonna see a lot of the activity for you, as far as like how things are coming in, where you're gonna be lucky, and how you should kind of approach it, where you've been seeing the signs, and how that's gonna shift into next year. I already started literally January, I'm taking like at least 4 trips already. Like it's crazy, but I just have a lot of stuff that I want to do. I'm going to be traveling so much next year. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of vlogs, but for the most part, it's really important to just pull back and just really allow the universe to expand the energy where it wants to expand. Like, don't block this. Don't block the energy that's trying to come in. Don't stay rigid. Don't be flexible. Be flexible to the changes, okay? Even though there's stability that's being asked, but still be open. There has to be a balance of the two. That's where we're going to talk about this. Anyway, For the sacral chakra, our blockage is the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Swords, and the Page of Wands. So some of y'all know y'all gotta leave, but y'all don't want to leave for whatever the case reason. And it's not only it's not only making you weak, but it's blocking your power, taking your mental sanity and your mental peace away. And emotionally, you just kind of feel drained. And if also check where your Venus is transiting right now for you, because Venus is still in Scorpio, so it's asking us, it's demanding us to continue to purge when it comes to relationship, partnerships, love, money situations that didn't go the way that we wanted it to, friendships that are just were not meant for us. So really do the work when it comes to it. Like I will say the Scorpio doesn't like to do the Phoenix thing. They don't like to do the transformation thing, but they rule it, so they have to do it. It comes to the point where you have to allow yourself to peak and to just climax on that notion and be like, okay, I'm releasing, I let it go. Okay. So with this, it's just like saying, hey, chill. You already know what you already got all the downloads about the situation. You already know that you're like emotionally drained, emotionally like checked out. You need to be out, and you know that there's this energy here. The Page of Wands is like hinting at you. Your intuition is hinting at you, like, hey, you know, there's this fresh start here. Like there's a lot of fire here. Like this is a good time to really prep for what you want and how you're gonna accomplish it, how you're gonna achieve it, like where you're gonna put your time into, new journeys. So it's like next step, like thank you next, like it's what this is. And it's where our sacral space is really demanding you to like regain your power and your drive and your focus somewhere else, because the way to heal that this week, we got the King of Wands and the 7 of Cups. So it's like the King of Wands is already full-blown power. Mind you, this is a very sacral card. Same as the Cups, but this is a very sacral card because it's fire. And then we have the 7 of Cups here, which is really saying, hey, you have the ability to really pick where you want to go right now. Like, why are we being hung up with stuff that doesn't really matter? Like, moving forward, next year ain't gonna be about this, so you might as well let it go, because it ain't gonna be about that life. It really ain't. So the more you like hold on to this, the more you're missing out on your manifestation ability for this week, especially with this full moon in Cancer that's coming up. And it's just really like, hey, you have a gift right now in order to be able to really focus in and see where your path is taking you. And the King of Wands, it's already a person that's mastered the journey. So it's like, you know that you know how to do this. This is not new. This is not something that it's like going to completely wreck your life. No, you've done this before. It's like been there, done that, but you know what? This is a new journey. So let's continue on this path. The King of did I say Swords? I'm sorry, Wands. The King of Wands, even though he's mastered the journey, he that doesn't mean he likes to stop doing it. Like, he still likes to continue on and face these challenges. It's just that he is in his power to be able to do so. He's strong enough to say, hey, you know what, this is not for me, this is for me, and continue on in his journey. He's just mastered the journey at this point, but he still goes on the journey. That's not like he just doesn't stop because he rules it now. So just release the last bit of things. I feel like Venus and Scorpio is really gonna push whoever's still holding on to some stuff. Like, Venus and Scorpio ain't gonna have it. I'm just saying, like, just accept it and let it go. Like, that's the best way I can put it. For our solar plexus, our blockage is the Magician and the Knight of Wands. And I'm not surprised about this because, first of all, we have a lot of wands in our root chakra, and then in our sacral chakra we also have a lot of wands. So will wise, our will is shot, and this is kind of like, the Magician is like the worst card to have in a blockage in the solar plexus place, because you have, besides strength, because you have the card, this is Mercury, so you have the card of manifestation, you have the card of, because you see how he has all of the aces. This card, the Magician, rules all of the aces, and that's because he's able to, with his voice, manifest any of those aces that he wants to. Opportunity, love, emotional fulfillment, money, like whatever it is, mental clarity, intuition, whatever it is, he can do it effortlessly. That's what he rules. He rules all the opportunities. And in our blockage is really saying, hey, because our drive and we're feeling really, we're almost trying to push back against this fire energy in the chart right now. And because we're kind of fighting our own will right now, it is shot because we're not focusing on our journey. We're not focusing on our drive. We're not focusing on clearing out the cobwebs and leaving the dead be so we can move forward. Because we're not doing that, because we're not communicating or saying the messages that we need to say, being passionate in the messages that come through, because we're not saying the thing and setting it in stone, because our will is shot. We're blocked right now. And the best way to heal that this week, we have the Page of Cups and the Six of Wands. And this is really saying, like, hey, you need to come back to the reason why you even initiate anything, why you get passionate about anything, why you want to succeed in anything. The Page of Cups is a very innocent, like, it's a very innocent card, because he just has really, really honest feelings about why he wants to do things, why he or she wants to make the moves in this area, or really thrive in that area, or really give its intention to somebody else, and really manifest and really focus on what it really wants on the long run. That's what the Page of Cups wants, especially emotionally when it comes to, like, romance. Is a very innocent, like, oh my god, I have a crush on you, I think you're cute. Like, it's very innocent feeling. So when you look at this, it's like, hey, we know you want to thrive. We know that you want to succeed. We know you want to be elevated in this way. But how you get there has to come from a very, very innocent place. And from that place, you will be able to succeed. It can't be from, like, stuff that you need to let go of. It needs to be from you. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to do with your life? What is it that you want to do next year? Where is it that you want to put your focus on? And let that be something that you love doing, because that's really what it's gonna make you succeed and really drive you to that place. So that's for our solar plexus. And then for our heart chakra, Lord Jesus, our blockage is, oh, hold on, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna hold this. We have the moon, Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Tower, the Hermit, and the Seven of Wands. And what this is telling me is that for those who have been hermiting, there's some messages that you guys have received about, it's definitely a love situation. You received the message as far as letting go, something that's been draining you emotionally and physically, that you don't actually have. You don't have this, you don't get to enjoy this love in whatever shape or form, and you kind of got some harsh messages from the universe as far as letting that go. This is also the card of Pisces, by the way, but this is a situation where you know you have to let it go. It has reached its peak. You cannot have it neither physically or emotionally, and it's kind of like at this point the universe has already told you, like, no, this is not for you, but you're still, like, heart-wrenching in it, and you've been hermiting in it, and you've been, like, just in it. And with this Tower moment that has sent you into the hermitness, it's kind of like you're trying to, the reason why the heart space is blocked is because you're kind of trying to, like, do this where you're like, no, but if I just hold on, if I just wait, if I just see, with all these excuses, you're trying to wait to see where this is gonna go, and hopefully, and maybe if you go inside and maybe really learn or try to process the moments that passed and all of these things, when in reality the Tower is saying, no, you're not, this ain't it, like, this ain't it, like, it ain't it. This is a very traumatic event for some of you. It's something that it became a blockage because it hurt so much, and it doesn't feel good at all. Like, I see it. It really, really, really doesn't feel good, and I'm sorry for those who are going through this hot mess of a situation when it comes to the heart space. And it just, at this point, it's like your intuition has been telling you one thing. Like, you've already gotten every download that you need. This is also Uranus, and this is a Virgo card. This is a Virgo card, but this is also Uranus, and so, like your intuition already told you everything that you need to know about the situation, but for some reason you're still having either a hard time releasing it, like you're having a hard time releasing it, or you're just not releasing it, so it's becoming very painful for you. And this situation, the best way to heal that, and this is the hilarious part, you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So this is root chakra work. And this is self-care as well. And this is also the card of Capricorn, because you see a logo right there? Yeah. Symbolism in tarot, let me tell you. So there's a lot of regrounding and self-work that needs to be done, and maybe accepting the thing so we can like move on, emotionally speaking, so we can move on in a clearer emotional state, so we feel like maybe we can start in a fresh, in a different thing, even if you're not thinking about it. Because I feel like the way I work, I mean, that's my Venus in Aquarius though, like I'll fall for someone, and then when I don't when I don't love them anymore, what ends up happening is that I just do me for like, it could be like 2 years. I could literally not date for 2. I do not care. I will not care. I have a lot of Scorpio placements, so it takes me some time to find genuine love connections, and not like surface level shit. I just don't, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. I don't even get attracted to it, so that's why I don't even entertain. But for that specific reason, for me, it really goes back to self-care, and like I'm just doing me, I'm traveling, I'm doing everything that I love to do, and then the universe plays me and it'll like send me somebody, and I'm like, damn it, I was having such a great grand old time. And that's really what this is saying right here with this like earth energy. It's like, no, go back to you, go back to your physical self, go back to loving yourself, go back to putting all that energy back to yourself. Like, don't give this to other people. Make sure you're in a good place so you can attract those on that vibration. Like, don't fall for this kind of like traumatic, always going in, like always bring you into the darkness type of love. Like, it's not worth it, and it's not meant for you either. So just focus on self-care this week, especially with this full moon. I feel like it's gonna have a lot of people, it's definitely gonna have a lot of people being emotional, especially, and for our crown we do have the Chariot, which is a card of Cancer, so I feel like it's gonna have a lot of people being emotional. But for the most part, we can move from it. We can set better intentions. We can use that time to take care of ourselves instead of giving everybody else our emotional time, our mental energy, our mental space, like our time. That's basically, it's time. Like, you're giving other people your time, and you know how, if you guys know me by now, as a Capricorn, time is a very important thing to me. So when it comes to your heart space, it's like, give yourself back that time, give yourself back that love, because we love very much unconditionally, and it's like, give it back to yourself. Bring that love back to you so you can feel good when you get into something else, when you meet somebody else. For our throat chakra, what is blocking our throat chakra, we have the Four of Cups, and then we have Death. And this is this situation that's happening here with the sacral space and with the heart space, where it's like we have not, like, Venus is there, Venus and Scorpio is there, because this is the card of Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is there talking about, hey, you need to let this go, and Yaz is not trying to have it. Like, Yaz is not trying to have it. Yaz is blocking every single ounce, every single pain, every single thing, every single sign, the universe is like, no, everything's like, no, and you're still blocking it. And because you're blocking it, it's, first of all, this Phoenix moment that you're having emotionally does not feel good. It does not feel good. And so, again, the best way to heal it, this is why this came out, is the Empress and Justice. Understanding karma. One, understanding karma, understanding the process of life, the balance that you need to bring back into yourself, with the Empress asking you for self-care, asking you to go back to yourself, asking you to enjoy your damn life. Like, it's really, really about that this week. And I know verbally, like, it comes to with accepting the truth. And if I feel like it would be good for some of you to practice self-care solo, but if you have someone that you can like communicate with, that you can vent at, maybe a friend or something, you just need to speak these things out loud. Like, this person hurt me, this person did this to me, this person like really put me in a position that I didn't like feeling. Like, this kind of reminded me of Cardi B, because she actually has Venus in Scorpio, so she's having her Venus return right now, and I mean, it has not been going well, I would say. But it's kind of like the same thing. It really goes back to self-care, and everybody's kind of pushing this whole offset nonsense on her, and it's like, but she needs to do her right now. Like, it's not about him. It ain't about him. Like, it could be Christmas, it could be what all the holidays combined in 1 month. That don't mean that she does not need self-care. Same applies to all of you. Like, that's really what the energy is looking like for those who don't want to release. For those who already know that this is in the works, like you already see it coming, you just need to accept it. You need to bring balance back into yourself. It's crazy because Cardi B is also a Libra, so that's kind of hilarious. But you need to bring balance back into yourself. You need to bring that self-love time, all that, like, do you, focus on you, focus on your money, on your drive, on your journey, on your intentions, and really get yourself clear so you don't have to struggle emotionally. Like, if you love yourself, you don't need other people to do it for you. So bring that balance back into yourself and just wait. Like, make sure you understand that karma, you're not gonna get to see it all the time, but at the same time, the universe will find a way to balance everything out. So focus on you and let any of that pain that somebody may have caused you to, like, just know that it's being taken care of. Just know. For our third eye, we have strength, we have the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the 3 of Cups. So this is definitely a work situation, I would say. And I feel like for some of you, you're gonna have to do some uncrossing spell work, because I can see where someone has put some spell work on some of you in regards to opportunities, whether verbally, whether mentally, whether somebody like started saying rumors about you, whether it was a friend, whether it was an ex-friend, whether it was an ex-lover, whatever the case may be. There's somebody that definitely, either, because you have to understand, people who are not witches, who call themselves brujas or whatnot, that don't mean that they can't do spell work, because words are spells. So when somebody talks shit about you, and when somebody's like gossiping about you at work, or telling your boss something about you or whatever, whether or not it's really about the intention. If they say it with the intention to hurt someone and hurt somebody's chances for something, it's really coming into play this week. And the reason why the third eye is blocked this week is because you can't even see what's going on in front of your face. It might have been obvious, you might have gotten signs about this, but at the same time, you're not seeing all the things that's coming, like, that are being worked against you. There's a lot of toxicity in the work environment, something that you've put your time into exclusively, and it's really strong. It's something that's very strong. This is also the card of Leo. So people are really, really afraid of your shine, and afraid of what you can do, and kind of really jealous of what you can do. And they're really making it difficult for you to kind of move in this space. So what I definitely need to say is just make sure that you take back that power. The best way to heal that this week is the 6 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. So make sure that you're taking back that power. Make sure who your connections are, who you trust, who you interact with, who you give your time to, who you think you're friends with, all that jazz. And also make sure that you understand the relationship of how people are benefiting by starting to these kind of dramas. Like, who benefits from doing this? Who is it that benefits? Who? You're just gonna you have to ask yourself this week, who is benefiting from starting this about me? Whether you hear from the grapevine, or someone actually comes and speaks to you and says, you know, I heard this, can we talk about it? Whatever the case, like, who's benefiting from this? And keep in mind who your circle is, who you're surrounded by. Have a really good disconnect between others this week is what I would say as well. Yeah, that's really what I wanted to say with that one. For our crown, our blockage is the Knight of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. Not surprised, our root chakra is blocked, and there's too many stuff, like, there's too much stuff taking our mind space and taking our like our mental peace this week. So our crown chakra is definitely blocked, and we're not able to really connect because our root chakra is also blocked. So we're having a lot of issues when it comes to physically being in a good place and then mentally clearing up those webs. So it's really about getting yourself sorted. The way to heal that this week is the High Priestess and the Chariot. This is a very much I would say a week to like get your cards read, whether for the new year, whether for like for the month, for Capricorn, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to get some like divine healing, divine like guidance, really good a time to call up your healer or book a healer this week. With the Chariot, it's really asking you to focus that that full moon energy, that Cancer full moon energy, back into your like your drive. And this goes back to the beginning where we're talking about the journey, because ultimately you will succeed, and people are afraid of your success. But what's gonna happen is that you're still gonna end up succeeding if you put in the work and you allow yourself to know everything that's going on, and allow yourself to kind of disconnect and say, okay, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do, this is not what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm gonna address this is how I'm gonna address that. Like really setting, like putting your foot down and saying, no, I'm not doing that. Like, don't hold on to micro traumas, don't hold on to, like, remember Venus is still in Scorpio. You don't want to you definitely don't want to hold on to anything that you don't like, especially resentment for people, the way they hurt you. Practice forgiveness, be the bigger person, and really connect to yourself, connect to your ancestors, connect to the messages, because Cancer is also like that connection, that fourth house focus, and it's that with the house of the home is really a connection to your family. So focus on what your ancestors are telling you. Great week to do ancestor work and get some like healing and some perspective. Also to ask for that justice that you're seeking. But definitely some of you guys need to do a spiritual bath. There's a lot of toxicity going on in the work environment. This is like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of, I feel like this week, instead of everything being rooted for one thing, there's a lot of things rooted from so many different areas that we just really need to kind of address one at a time. So take the time, do due diligence. I cannot say that word for some reason. And really put in the work that you need to do to heal these spaces. Sacral space, definitely that's a personal one that you just need to accept. But the other one that you need some protection work for this work situation. You need some protection work because there's some bad juju being sent to you, and you probably didn't even know because your third eye is blocked. So, message for this week. I'm gonna pull a card from the Ascended Masters Oracle. Ooh. Okay. So, whew. This is just okay. We just got a bunch of cards, so hold on. Whew. So, first card we got was see it from the other person's point of view. And again, see who benefits from coming at you, like I said. Then we have crystals, so that's a really good way to do earth magic and really protect yourself this week. Smoky quartz is one of my favorite ones that I use personally at work to like put that wall in between people who try me. But definitely smoky quartz, I would say. For this week, citrine is also good, but I would definitely say smoky quartz because it doesn't absorb negative energy, so you'll be good. So do that. Then we have teacher as well, and that's really that high priestess card. Consult with those who have more knowledge than you. Consult with those who can connect, who are able to maybe shine a light in a different way. So get yourself a reading if you just need a personal reading to see what's going on and how you can best address it. Connect with those who can give you that insight. And then the last card is detach from drama. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people sending that bad juju out there, and it's really about clearing that, setting the intention, being like, no, this is where I'm keeping you, like understanding who your friends friends are, understanding who your coworkers are as well, understanding that you're not always friends with your coworkers, and then separating, putting that wall of protection around you this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I will see you guys in the next video. All my links and stuff will be down below. Don't forget to subscribe.